Good evening. Hello. It's time for TEC racing action again on the Monday. So hope you're all feeling good and well. So let's just bring up the schedule. So round 7 out of 10 is Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium. It is for this round with 3 more rounds then. Still to go for the 2026 10 season-long TEC seasons. Still a couple of bangers definitely here on the schedule. And while drivers are warming up, still have a couple of minutes before we start the qualifying. Let's just bring up the current team standings after 6 rounds. So here we go. Scissor Fishters have retaken the lead. 1 point, the gap, 2 team done, exclamation mark. So those 2 teams are fighting for that team championship in P3. We still have Schnell, fast racing. 8, 14, 15 points, that gap to P1 and P2. It's doable. Richie with a great run, of course, in the EM class, and with also solid points for the team, maybe. They can move up a little bit higher today. It could be one of a river ruckus race happening with the settings. We'll get to that in a second. Before we have Stackban, GP, the Irish team, Hearing, and Thomas. Gaps are getting a little bit bigger than other teams. Lemony, who is solo fighter in his team, Project Lions Racing. Speed Hunters, BLT, and Curious Co. the third. And we have Oscar now taking the M spot and for the team for the remainder of the season, so they could score some good points and maybe leave P8 towards the end of the season. So today round 7 Spa and quite some mixed conditions. Here let's bring up settings for today. So looks fairly similar to what we have seen last week at the Nürburgring. So it could be that we start in the dry, but then it could also see some rain. So when I joined the lobby, it was already wet and raining for a couple of minutes. But we definitely have that SO1, the third slot, that will mean it's definitely dry. But then we also have the RO7 just and after that, so towards the middle of the race there will be the heavy downpour, and the RO6 slots could mean basically anything. And a random slot probably dry, RO6 again, we don't know. So I reckon we could end the race in dry conditions. We will definitely have a short downpour where it's not advisable at all to run on slick tires. It looks like that the track is a little bit damp at the moment already while people are out, and I hear some rain falling down already, so this could be an interesting qualifying session as well. So let's have a quick look at how the weather has moved over the last 60 minutes here at trackside, and plenty of rain. A bit of a dry period, rain again, and now we are in this part where we will have for the foreseeable minutes rain, of course. So the race start could be interesting. Also the qualifying, I mean, if you get lucky, might get a lap in on the slicks, but then also it's like a 2-minute plus out lap for the track here with the 24-hour layout and the long pit lane, and it's already heavy. So let's have a little look at the conditions. See, so it's intermediate, so there no one are running on soft tires for now. But they're tricky conditions. Food delivery, so I have a little of a storyline for you. Just heard from Blasi in the warm-up, joined the party chat, so he ordered food and being delivered to his door, but it's any time between now and top of the hour. And we see in the in-game chat as well, delivery has some delay. Poor Blasi, hungry. This means we get a little bit more practice footage. This will probably also be the start of the race. Then those conditions. It's also quite dark again. So why do we have like these conditions again? So we are at the starting sunset when it's quite dark already, so that with the rain it's pretty dark here at Spa, so not like the lovely sunset we usually get. And you also get an idea about lap times. 27s in those conditions. And it's 3 minutes until quali, you know. So again, running a little late. So there's also like currently a community poll running if we maybe should push back the start of TEC for a little bit, and it's currently pretty much tied. We keep as it is. or move it 30 minutes, and the guy that's missing Shred voted for keep it as it is, so not too sure about that. I think he started already twice from the back of the grid because he missed the qualifying. So maybe he should vote for a little bit of a later start as well. Nevertheless, we see some cars driving around. Now conditions are improving a little bit, so there's not that much rain, I think, coming down now. If you go on board, you see like there is no more rain falling. We are 8 minutes in, so don't think you can wait for that long to get good conditions. Or can you? I don't know, maybe that's the timing, but can you survive a lap on slick tires in those conditions, an out lap? I don't know. It's probably this time the safe bet to just go out on the intermediates and set your lap time. As always, TEC, you have one shot, one opportunity to set your lap time. Uh, 2:27, I think they had okay-ish conditions compared. Oh, and Shred has entered the room. I think just in time. If he ticks in, then here we go. It's like then prepare ourselves for the qualifying session. Interesting question in chat. So there's currently a bug, or is it a feature? I don't know, with the qualifier. So you get like the overrun, like the estimated lap time on top of it, that you can't really change. So last week we had like, I don't know, 9 to 10 minutes overrun on the Nürburgring 24-hour layout, so I reckon we will get a 2.5 to 3 minute overrun time. So that maybe I get the idea behind Beetlejuice's question. So it was trying a little bit. So maybe wait, then get the best conditions at the end of the qualifying. Will you risk it? That is the question. Is someone going out? Looks like most of the drivers are waiting. Okay, so this could be a very long 5-6 minutes. Now nothing is happening. This one, so the settings are 10 minutes time to set your one hot lap whenever you want, and with the warm-up, and we see now windshield wipers are moving, so rain is picking up a little bit now at the start of this qualifying session. So yeah, that's maybe why The drivers are waiting a little bit. The downside of this, of course, will be traffic. Then if like everybody decides to leave pit lane as late as possible, then we will have a couple of cars running really close to each other on that qualifying, and could also impact your qualifying run. So no pity for the streamer. So yeah, do something, drivers, come on. But I can totally get it. I think you also have to consider like the pit exit a bit longer than on the GP layout. It's raining everywhere now, and probably the heaviest bit of that initial rain now coming down. So 3.5 minutes in, not a single driver left pit lane. Also like is who is actually sitting in the lobby now and getting cold tires. Is everybody just having fun in the lobby screen in party chat, and oh, someone is moving. Who is it? Taz is the first driver. He's going on to the wet tire compound, so he's not feeling it at all. I don't think that is the best idea in this case. No, he aborted that pretty quickly. So it is probably okay to drive in those conditions on wet tires, but you will lose like quite some time. My question is someone like bold enough to go on to a slick tire run? Next driver now. Going, it's still like heavy rain. It's Taz again on inters, and like really bad conditions for now. He has a 3-second penalty already coming out of pit lane, but he is not surrendering. Go on, Taz, come on. You can make it past the pit exit. I think it's now 4 minutes before the 10-minute mark. pretty bad still. With the outlap, very tricky conditions. The good thing for TEC is, so he won't face any traffic on his run. But I think it's too early, conditions are too bad. Dashi leaving pit lane, here we go. Also sick of waiting. Giving the conditions a little bit of a test run. So yeah, I don't think it's raining anymore. So we have the first of the pro drivers, Beetlejuice, on track, taking it easy into the Lecombe chicane. Let's have a look at as he heads down towards Stavello. So conditions are getting better, but it's still very dry, and a big sideways moment for TEC. Now I think the drivers are leaving the pit lane altogether. They had like the same idea, so it's just Deering who's like waiting. He might not get a lap, and then he's going on to soft tires. No way! Who else is on softs? Is he the only driver? I think. Oh, Deering is the one. 3 seconds, but he can't back out of it. Oh, he's spinning. I think that is a last place start, unfortunately, for Deering. He won't be able to make it across the line for this qualifying session, so that's P15 for Deering. TEC is on his lap. Let's see. I don't know, the conditions on track seem to be worse than at the start of the quali. So maybe someone could have risked it an early run, but now on the camel it's clearly getting better. It's, yeah, the racing line, you can see it, and I think this racing line almost slick territory. Still, like, it's very wet everywhere else. Intermediate still, I think, the correct tire choice. It would have stopped a minute earlier, maybe, and you could risk that soft. Deering tried it and spun coming out of the pit exit. Still, you have to be very careful. The curbs still wet. It will be TEC. And to set the first reference lap time for all of us. So we saw like 2:27s during the practice. Don't think TEC can do that, but a sub 2:30. Let's see. Oh, it could be a 28, 29. Just okay, that's not too bad. 29.3. Dashi nearly 2 seconds up, so we'll probably see some purple sector times now from just behind. They have better track conditions. So let's see, Beatles. No, not as fast as Dashi. You had a good run. Coming out of Blanchimont into the bus stop. Is it raining again? But don't think it affects the track that much. So we should see the next provisional pole time. And a 26.5 for Kodashi Beetlejuice. The third driver that left pit lane. Don't think this will be a 26, 28, just 29.1. So Oscar, always someone to keep an eye on. Can he beat that 2:26.5? He's on a good way. It could be a 24. Maybe a 25. 25 for Oscar. River also with a 25. So next it is Prodigy, who is at a moment on his lap. 30. Lemony with a 24. Trios with a 24. Thomas Shred. So we are seeing now those faster lap times. Who is still on a fast lap. Don't think Kurt didn't make it, Blasi didn't make it, Endearing, so we have 3 drivers that weren't able to set a lap time. We have Lemony with that 24.1, Furious with a 24.7, and then the timer went. So we'll have a look at the qualifying results. Then Lemony on pole, Furious alongside, Shred P3, Thomas grabs pole 40 amps, all in the 24s. Then Richie and Oscar, 2 M drivers on the 3rd row, River and Adachi row number 4, and then Dylan and Tull. Bit further down the order than usually. Taz, the first driver, go out, and Prodigy, who had some moments throughout his lap, not finished last. And we have 3 drivers who couldn't set a lap time, so they either went out too late or had a spin and on their out lap, so they couldn't really set that lap time. I should make up for an interesting race that is. So we will have like the same pattern for the start of the race. So it's set up like this, and we saw like the 10 minutes or so towards the end. It was like okay to drive, and oh, we are already starting the race, so no time to lose, I guess. So good luck, everybody, have fun. Then let's get to the race. 60 minutes, and we are running on the 24-hour layout, so this means race start also past La Source, the run into Eau Rouge, grid start, and away we go. Lemony not the best start, but should probably stay in front. And now we go single file into La Source and Radion. Oh, it's attack moment for now, coming on top of Radion onto the Camel Straight for the first time. Into Lecombe. Lemony laid on the brakes, and ooh, someone went deep. It looked like Thomas, who had a weird line, P5. Down we go. We see side by side, a bit laggy behind Dylan, Oscar. They avoided some of the shenanigans. I think that someone lost a little bit, and it's River, I think, dropped down to P11. Beetle also, P12, Taz, Deering, and Kurt at the back of the grid. So that first lap shouldn't be an issue with the rain, but we know like it will pick up a little bit now. Let's have a look. I think everyone is on the intermediates for now, so Beetlejuice serving the penalty. Loses that position to Deering, but stays in front of the Taz just. So now it's bunching up, heading into the bus stop. It's Thomas versus Oscar, a fight in the M category. A little bit of a tap. It was Richie, who was a little late maybe, and now is like being mocked. Or was it? Oh, it was Shred, I think. Shred, yeah. What happened? And here we have 2 wide, 3 wide situations coming out of Radion, and some weird lag bump drafting happening. Another 2 wide through a situation this time. Can we survive, please? It's bunching up between the drivers. Don't think the lobby is in a really good shape currently. It's a lot of lag on my end at least. Tricky to drive. I think I don't have that much time really to look at the replay, but I think let's see what happened. A little bit of a tap, and then Shred goes backwards. Dashi's perspective. Dashi with a little bit of a bump, and also drivers having all sorts of trouble to rejoin the track, now heading into Camel. Tricky conditions, so we need to get back to the live racing action and see Lemony has a 1.5 second gap to Furious that goes up to 1.7, 1.8 coming out of the bus stop. Richie in 3rd position, kept it clean, stayed out of trouble so far. Oscar in 4th, then Thomas P5, Blasi up to P6, River in 7th, Dashi 7-8, was Deering on the inside. Deering 8th, Dashi 9th. And there's Prodigy on the inside now. Side by side door banging, heading into Eau Rouge. Prodigy just comes out in front on top as well. At Radion, Dashi fishtailing. Doesn't get the run. And it's Dylan now with the move on the Camel straight. He's on the inside. Can he break late? Oh, not quite. But someone had a moment. I think that was Prodigy. So what happened? We don't know. We need to go back a little bit further. Oh, it was just too late on the brakes. Ooh, and a poor rejoin that didn't go to plan at all, I think. The race, so hopefully it will calm down a little bit. Now, of course, not the easiest conditions here at this stage. TEC is facing the wrong way. Well, let's see if we can see what happened to TEC. Already happened. We have a spin out of no name. And we also have one driver. Shred is on soft tires already. What a madman it is. That is probably a bit too early, but I guess he has nothing to lose really. So yeah, he's actually driving this BMW on the racing soft tire compound. So he's out of traffic, and if he keeps it on the drying race line, he should be okay to survive this out level. nearly spun it. Did he start like from this race on softs? Yeah, probably. I don't see an outlap. Did he pit after lap 1? I'm so confused now. But he's running on the soft tires. So that's a fact I can't deny. So last bit of rain for the next minutes. And this is probably where we left the qualifying session. So he's now in known territory. Let's see, but weird it doesn't say like out lap a 3-minute lap. That's not what you wanna have really. The rest of the grid is on those intermediates, and the track is trying. This also means we see the grid bunching up again. So drivers further down will have slightly better track conditions in those trying stages of the race. So that's why we have Furious Richie and Oscar, close Thomas and P5 Dylan in 6th, gearing up to P7, got past Blasi. But we also see there is tire wear showing on those intermediates, so you probably won't get them going for much longer, and pretty sure at least half of the grid will be going on to the slick tire compound now. So Shred's still all by himself, but might find some company very soon. So what's the decision? Lemony staying out, Crew staying out, Richie staying out. Woo. No. Oscar in. Thomas? Who is in? Thomas is in. Just one more driver, or two. Deering is also in pit lane. But ow, that was a bold prediction that didn't really go to plan. So from my end, so I would have thought like more drivers would take that opportunity, or take the gamble at least, and pit. So we have the two teammates, Thomas and Deering. They're in pit lane now. They will get rid of the intermediates for now. So it will be a slick tire. It will be a slow pit exit, and also a tricky one. So going like uphill. And it's racing softs for Thomas, so you have to be careful. A, not cross the white lines, and then B, not spin it. Thomas got through Deering as well. Both on the racing softs as expected. What's the gap to shred? Still a couple of seconds, so that early run on the softs didn't work for now, but he is now used to the conditions, so he knows where to push. And Deering and Thomas learning that now, but they will also then have the advantage over the rest of the grid, who are still running on the inters, and they will have to adapt and after the pit stop as well, and maybe they're getting tricked into being too aggressive. No, but I'm pretty sure we will see the next drivers pitting for some slicks. Lemony staying out. Furious. No signs of pit stops. Richie, they're trying to survive, maybe before the next rain. Oscar is in. Dylan is in. Lazi staying out. Prodigy staying out. Okay, so 3 more. Also River, I think, into pit lane, so the intermediates are dying. A slow death, but they are definitely dying. So what's Tess' decision? He's staying out. That could be tricky. So did Thomas and Deering, I think they put in a little bit of fuel. River and his pit crew, Oscar and Dylan as well. So we know, like in 10 minutes maybe there will be the big drop, now the heavy rain. And so softs should be okay, I think. Oscar is on softs, Dylan is on softs. Let's watch the pit exit. So Thomas and Deering, they jumped them as expected. Oscar is out, Dylan is out, no penalty. River on the pit exit now. Bit of traction control helping. And he is running again. A tread with 2:28. What are the lap times at the front? That's 2:24. That is 4 seconds still the gap. Lemony is looking after the tires. Furious as well. 3 seconds the gap. Also a 2:24, a 26 for Richie. Whose tires, yeah, they could do one more, but I don't think they will survive before the next bit of rain. And this should be the same for the drivers up until Taz. So Taz tires are really struggling now. Dry conditions. And we have the 2 teammates, Thomas and Deering, running P10, P11. We'll get an idea when they complete their first timed lap after the pit stop. What lap times can we expect? 2 seconds on the delta for now. So soft tires are faster. Not a surprise. So, but Lemony stayed out, Fury stayed out, Richie stayed out. There's a very interesting race. Interesting dynamic as well. Current now comes in. So later than the rest, Taz as well. The tires are shot, so can't blame him. Thomas with that 21.7. So lost a little bit on that final sector. Still fastest lap of the race so far. Deering with that 22.2 as well. Oscar right behind them on the track. Then we have Dylan, 4.5 seconds that gap. River has 8.5. Is there a difference in fuel? Not really, so that's basically... Ooh, the gap and yellow flag. What happened? Ooh, made a mistake. Deering, I think Deering, yeah. Oh, on top of Radion. Oof. But no damage. What the actual? Accelerating on the wet. So a big moment of drama, and also probably like a jump scare. Oof, just smashed into that wall here on top of Radion. So Lemony now with those tires, will he do one more lap? It's time to pit. No, he's staying out. So they're probably seeing something on that weather radar. So we want to somehow avoid that extra pit stop. Blasi, next driver to make the decision. He stayed out. Prodigy as well. So Rain is probably near. Oh, Beetlejuice is in, I think. Yeah, Beetlejuice comes in. That's a late, so he doesn't like the intermediates now. Thinks he's losing too much time. So the pit loss is severe on this layout. So I get the idea behind staying out for as long as possible. Lap times for Lemony 6 seconds, 5.5 slower than Shred. Currently 2:20.5 on those softs. Is it possible to close that gap? So Beetlejuice now leaving pit lane soon. He will go. Oh, he also refueled for this one. And he stayed out on intermediates. I really feel like this is not ideal, but this also still feel like there is more rain coming. So you're not like using intermediates on a dry racing line for no reason. So Rain is in the area and will most likely hit the track soon. But how soon? That's the question. Well, next time, end of lap number 8, 19 minutes in. Lemony now with decision again. The front tires are dead, but he's staying out. Furious also not like the tires not in a good shape at all. Richie now decides to pit in. That's a late one. Maybe he also changes for new intermediates. So as Beetlejuice did. What about the Blasi? In as well. Prodigy in. Right, and Oscar is on the softs. He's staying out. Thomas Dashi on. His tires are dead already. He just made it into pit lane. And here we see the rain again. River is in. Deering is in, so the heavy rain is coming. Kurt. And not long on those softs, but we hear the rain is pouring down now. Shred. Ooh, he missed it. Also issues for Kurt. So can he get it reversed? Can Shred get back into pit lane? Doesn't want to do like another lap, so he got a reset. Can he get that car safely back into pit lane? Tess right behind, so he has to go slow. Both of the drivers have to go slow, and it's crazy scenes happening. Paige Lemony is on dead intermediate tires, and the rain is picking up again. What about our soft tire runners? They're having some issues now. Oscar on his softs. Grip levels are now the issue for the soft tire runners. Oscar and Thomas were still, and Dylan's on the softs. He made up some ground. He's in P3 at 37 seconds. That gap to the Furious 2, who's also running on pretty much dead intermediates. What about Richie? He went on to fresh inters, so 1 lap earlier than the 2 leaders. But I think that was a good move. So we will get past Thomas, who is on the softs. I think Thomas, who has to be careful. It's just a little bit, ooh, and then runs a bit wide. Can he bring it back on to the try-ish racing? No, it's not try anymore. So Lemony still staying out. I'm so confused. So the tire wear is pretty bad. Furious is in. Dylan also struggling. I hear people doing weird things. The tires didn't sound good. Probably someone had a moment. Richie on the intermediates in a good spot for now. So can he jump Furious 2, who is still not joining his pit crew for the service? Now he's in. So he's changing tires. No surprise. Will it be wets or intermediates again? Richie coming down. Over the start finish. Lassour's Furious. He had nearly a full tank of fuel. Lazi, it's pouring down like crazy. Where is Richie, by the way? Here he is, Furious, leaving. Fits now, he's on intermediates, and Richie with more speed, closing that gap 2 seconds. Dylan made it into pit lane, and Lemony still staying out. Not sure how he manages to get some grip out of those dead front tires in those conditions. It is heavy wet territory now. And he has a massive lead. He hasn't stopped 44 seconds. You know, is he going for a big survival, staying out? The heavy rain doesn't scare me at all. It won't be lasting that long. So maybe he's trying something here, but he's definitely losing time here. But yeah, I can't figure out the thinking at the moment. He's pitting now. Okay, that was, maybe he wants to have better tires, and later on, let's see. Lost some time. Furious and Richie, they are close. P2, P3. Blasi as well, pitted earlier onto the intermediate, same as Beetlejuice. Prodigy did the same strategy. Dashi and River, they're also on a similar strat, I think. You know, Dylan on the outlap in P9, just in front of Deering. Thomas is on the inters. Kurt on the inters strat. Tess and Oscar, who probably was that poor decision, but I don't blame them. So just the rain hit like halfway through the lap. So Lemony with a full tank, and Furious coming out of a rouge. He will jump him for now. Richie as well. So that's staying out for longer. For Lemony, what was the thinking behind? That he had a comfortable lead. Now P3. So we're still in that period of the race where we see rain. So probably R07, R06, something like that now in that middle part. So the rain, but it can ease off with the R06s. Doesn't look like at the moment. So it's heavy rain, steady rain as well. So definitely intermediate conditions. For the top three with that gap, and Blasi and Beetlejuice P4, P5. Stay on board and judge the conditions. So we see the spray from the car in front, and we see alternative wet lines. I think still here that's the slightly faster way to do it. We don't see anything from that rear camera, so let's stay with that. It's a bit better, still quite dark. And it looks like to me Beetlejuice could go a little faster. Can he make a clean move? So they have like still 11 seconds. And the top three, they're also like really close looking at this one. We go back and see Furious Richie Lemony separated by a second, the top three. Then we go with the rundown after roughly halfway through this race. Prodigy in P6. River got past Dashi, P7 for now, so Dashi in 8th position. We have Dylan P9 during 5 seconds in P10, and a second we have Thomas. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 Irish drivers. P9, 10, 11, 12. Kurt running in that 12th position for now. Shred finds himself in P13 for now, just in front of Tess, and an unlucky Oscar. Currently P15, 1 minute 29. That gap, that 4-minute lap time, I think killed it. And for Oscar, it's still like 30 minutes to go. And there's some more drama on the horizon with those settings. Lemony got past Richie, has to serve a half-second penalty though. And it's raining again. Losing that position again gives Furious a little bit of a gap. A second now to the 2 cars behind. Then Blasi just they are gaining suddenly. Gained at least a second throughout this lap, so don't think they were fighting. So for now I think they should just focus on their lines and hope this trying track effect will help them. Let's see the lap times. 32, 33, 33, 31s here for Lousy 32 for Beetlejuice, so a bit faster. Prodigy with a 30, he is gaining. River with a 30-0 as well, 29, so the drivers now, the track conditions improving. See 28, so yeah. So those improving conditions will help the drivers that are a bit further down the order for now. So they will catch, will gain some time, but also part of the truth is that there are big gaps at the moment. It's not like you gain like 5-6 seconds per lap that easy, but you can clearly see the tendency. Like, and there is Oscar. He's coming in. He's going for, I think, all or nothing. I think he is going to a slick tire compound early. Again, top 3 battle, still close, still less than a second between Furious, Richie and Lamini. What's their mindset now? They will have an eye on that in-game weather radar and they will see what's happening. So it looks like, at least from the TV camera, that there's no more rain. Oh, that was... didn't look like it was an intentional move, but it probably just happened, so I'm not sure. Yeah. I think it's all good. All survived at 2.5 seconds, so now Furious with a nice little gap. Lazy and Beetlejuice 27s for the chase group. Oh, we have a 26.9 Furious, so having a really good lap. And see the gap. Oscar is on mediums, okay. So he's hoping for no more rain and that he could finish the race on the medium tire compound. Oh, that's probably his thinking. Oh, should avoid a spin now at any cost, of course. Well, we keep that in mind, so Oscar in P15 for now. But he's on medium tires, slick tire compound. And this could help him if it stays dry for the rest of this race, which is not guaranteed at all. The intermediate tires, they show a little bit of wear, but nothing major, I think. It's still wet enough for them to not overheat and lose the grip. But we're also in that part of the race where the drivers behind won't be gaining time for free. I can put it like that. So now again it's pace, it's commitment in those conditions. Furious defending that P1. Will they pit? Nope. Nope. Not going for the pit stop. Someone else could follow Oscar with that strategy. Not for now. Blasi, Beetle and Prodigy, the next group of 3. River staying out. Dashi has more wear on his inters, but also stays out. What about Dylan? Someone also with a, usually a bit of an aggressive strategy. He's in. Deering probably also follows. And Thomas doing one more. With his Kurt's idea. One more. At least. Shred, one of the candidates to go for the aggressive strategy. He's in. Tess staying out, and here comes Oscar. So he completed the outlap. Let's see what lap times we can expect. So he was a second down on his personal best. That's a 25. And the leaders are doing 25s at the moment. .22 would still be a good lap time, gaining 3 seconds on that lap. Overweight. He crosses that line. It's a 22.2 or 25.7 for US 25.0 for Lemony. 26 for Richard. We definitely have like the crossover point. It's been reached. Do they trust the weather? Doesn't look like. They are staying out. So what about Blasi, Beetlejuice? Oh, Blasi staying out, but Beetle and Prodigy, they're coming in. It's also time for some slicks. River had a deep entry into the bus stop, but goes into pit lane. Dashi now as well. So looks like there's no rain on that radar currently. So driver's feeling a bit more comfortable. And to pit, Thomas decided I stay out. Kurt is in. Okay, so Dylan on the mediums. Deering as well. Shred is on softs. 21 minutes on softs. And Oscar is pushing. He's definitely gaining on those intermediate tire runners. 20 minutes to go. What is possible in this race? Will someone throw a spanner to the works again? Looking at the weather here, of course. So more rain will definitely benefit the drivers that stayed out on those intermediates. So, but if I'm brutally honest, I can't see those drivers finish a race on that set of inters. 60% down already, and it will increase. So we did miss the overtake. Lemony back into the lead. No pit stop. What's the lap tire? 24 maybe, or 25. And she's struggling in those conditions. 28. I think also Blasi. Yeah, he has to cover now. Beetlejuice and Prodigy. Thomas looking at the tires. I think it might be better to pit now. Kurt as well. The Prodigy already behind, so this could be awkward. I think Kurt already indicating to the right hand side he wants to pit. Right, and we had Beetlejuice and Prodigy. Thomas is in. So Beetlejuice is on softs, Prodigy also on softs. Okay, so it might work, the soft tire? I don't know. Blasi is on the pit exit. Can he stay in front? Here comes Prodigy and Beetlejuice. Blasi just, I think, but Prodigy and Beetlejuice with the massive run uphill. They get back into the slipstream range by the end of the camera straight. It will be roughly a second. Braking for Lecomte. So Blasi with the tire advantage, that one lap longer on the intermediates. What about the fuel? He short fueled a little bit compared to Beetlejuice at least. And looking at the sharp end, we still have 2.7 seconds for now. Looking for those wet patches to cool the tires. The fronts are dead. I don't think he can do one more. He's coming in. Furious stayed out for more laps on those inters. Richie in as well. So 45 seconds to Blasi, Beetle and Prodigy, who pitted way earlier than the two in pit lane now. River just under 3 seconds the gap. Also flying at the stage. Dashi has to look into his mirrors. So Deering is behind, and we have Dylan, who was running in front of Deering. He might have had a spin. 7.5, yeah, 9 seconds the delta on this lap, so an off track somewhere, a little spin. It's still wet on those curbs. So Kurt and Thomas, they are close, both on the soft tires. Oscar P13, he got past Shred, 16 minutes to go, and Taz on the soft tires as well, 4.5. So we will need to wait for Furious to pit. That's 32 seconds. But now, maybe 10 seconds that gap to Richie. So he pulled a massive gap. Fuel, yeah, also advantage for Lemony. So looks like he's in the best position, I reckon. Furious one lap too long in my eyes on those intermediates. It's playing it ultra safe. I know, but looking at the lap times, 26, 27, 28s, while we see that the guys on the slick tires doing 22s, 21s maybe. And that one lap could lose 4 or 5 seconds minimum. So there it has to be now in. Yep, it is. Yeah, 6 seconds since the last time I looked at the delta between Furious and Lemony, so that's should be a healthy gap. Question is, can Richie also jump Furious? So approaching his pit crew now, and Lemony crosses the line. starts lap 19. Now, time for service. Not sure if fuel is needed, probably not for Furious, so you put in some fuel earlier on. You will have really good soft tires at this stage. But where is Richie? He has more speed. He will jump him. Pretty sure Furious still on the pit exit. Here comes Richie on top of Radion, and he goes past into P2 overall. Richie leading the amps, of course, so they're not fighting in class. So Furious still holding on to that P2 in the pro class. 3.5 seconds. That gap to Beetlejuice, that will come down a little bit. 3 seconds for Beetle and Blasi. Also, River Ruckus is like really catching. No, River! He touched the curb. Oh, you got officially Jaegered. No, sorry, buddy. Well, let's see. He accelerated. Was still a bit too wet. And then does the pirouette. Facing the wrong direction, and that's unlucky for River. Had a great drive. Closed that gap to Blasi and Beetle. Now P7 Prodigy gained that position. So Prodigy P2 in class. Dashi 30 DMs. And we have Deering, who is also pushing on the mediums. Can he catch River? That's 4 to 5 seconds at the moment. Dylan, after that little mistake, so 8 seconds lost on lap 17. Exactly, it's the commentator's curse, and it's nothing I can do. Don't blame me. It's just the nature of the game. But yeah, perfect example for that. So we are also getting closer to fastest lap territory. The 20.8 last time around for Lemony. The 20.5 is in danger. Look at that gap now, 14 seconds to P2, another 3 to Richie, who might have had a moment. He was running in front of Furious, and Beetlejuice was looking for River, but they decided to go for a bump instead. So going for an overtake into Kamal. I think it's still risky, still a bit wet on the edges, so better play it safe. It's also not a fight within the same class. Richie in the amps, Beetlejuice in the pros, and he has to defend from Blasi, who is also a pro driver. So P4, P5, that's P3, P4 in class. Prodigy, on the other hand, hopes that someone will punt Richie, so he can benefit and steal the victory in the AM class. River, after that mistake, the P7. Dashi in 8 and Deering now closing that gap, getting towards Dashi's gearbox. 3/10 with a good run. He's on the mediums, so still showing some serious pace. Richie is the only AM driver, so Lemony and Furious both are pro drivers. They're on the podium. You never know what will happen. So one little mistake, so just little glimpse here, not that focused, room. You just lose time, and We saw like that little mistake, easily 7, 8, 9 seconds. Maybe to get that car then going again in those conditions. I think Dylan is now cruising for the final 9 minutes. Kurt in P11. Oscar, who pitted very early to go on the mediums, gained a couple of positions with that strategy from P15 up to P12. Shred went early on to those softs, so will they survive? That is the question. Thomas right behind, also not a battle for position in the same class between Shred and Thomas, and Tess in P15 for now. So it will be interesting. Oh, we missed that overtake. Blasi got past Beetle. So Blasi now P3 in the pros. What's that gap to Prodigy? 3.3. So roughly 6 seconds the gap between Prodigy and Richie. Tires should be okay, I think, for the remainder of this race. But just a quick look, so we have like still a chance to get some rain for the final couple of minutes. That R06 is still lurking there for that final weather slot in that race. So maybe we will get some raindrops on the final lap. Who knows? Would be quite fitting for this race. Very chaotic, different strategies, and yes, to be expected. Like also a couple of mistakes then, of course, in those tricky conditions. And just spotted Lemony with that 2:19.7 fastest lap of the race, 16 seconds, so he's gone. Oh, furious with his best race of the season so far. So don't jinx him. Richie P3 with a good run as well. Blasi pulled a little gap to Beetlejuice. Prodigy is also on a good run over those last couple of minutes. So 21.6. Let's compare this to Richie. Richie at 27 was with a little mistake, but apart from that, he should have the victory in the AM class today. So River, after his mistake, pushing again into the 21s. This is still very close between Dashi and Deering. Dashi softs now. Yeah, they've seen the best of it, I think. So Deering should have the advantage on the mediums. So can he go for an overtake? Dylan and Kurt, we saw that, the gaps. Not much has changed. Also Oscar and Shred. So we have that fight. Not in the same class, but Thomas gets past Shred, who is struggling with his tire wear, I think. Yeah, looking at the fronts, it was probably one lap too early to go on to those soft tires. There's something happening. Richie found the pace, found the groove again. 20.8. looks promising. 4 minutes to go. Where is Lemony minute in? So 2 more laps after this. Roughly 18.5 seconds for Lemony leading this one. Here's P2, Richie P3. So gaps are going up a little bit between the drivers. Blasi, the gap to Beetlejuice 2.4. So it's outside of that slipstream range. On the other hand, we see Prodigy is getting into Beetlejuice's slipstream range. He needs to finish ahead of Richie to score maximum points. So Deering got past Dashi. Now he has 4 seconds to River. So Deering and River in the pro class. They have 1 more lap to go. Well, it is Lemony who is going for 2 more. And he will be the only driver, I think, to get to lap 25. So Furious will start his final lap of the race. Richie as well, personal best, Blasi. Gap to Beetlejuice 3 seconds. Prodigy on the final lap. River crossing the line 4 seconds. That gap to Deering. Dashi. The gap to Kurt should be big enough. Yeah, that's 18, 19 seconds roughly. So Dylan in P10 all by himself. And Oscar, that's also within the same class, but 13 seconds in 1 lap. That's not doable. Thomas comes round, will start on the final lap, and Shred as well. Low on fuel, low on tires. A risky strategy. Didn't really work in the end, and also Taz now starting his final lap. So no close fights at the moment. On track 20 seconds that gap for Lemony. I think he could slow down, still finish the race in P1. He doesn't want to do the victory lap, but on the other hand, yeah, you're just safe. So you cross the line. You're the only driver to go onto that final lap, and with roughly 10 seconds, and then when he starts his final lap of the race. Will be Furious 2, P2 overall, P2 in the pro class. Best performance of the season in tricky conditions. And P2, Richie, another victory in the M class for Schnell Fast Racing. River will be delighted. Blasi for BLT, P4 overall. Beetlejuice 5th and Prodigy P6 2nd in the M's. River then crosses the line. P7 6th in class. Deering gained a little bit. Will be P9 for Dashi. That's P3 in class. Also very good result for Dashi. Dylan in P10. So the cat picture he posted before the race, that didn't help, so it's blame it on the cat, I think. So Kurt finished in P11 overall, that's P4 in class Oscar, 5th in class P12, and we have Thomas P6 in class, Shred that is 7th, 8th in class for Shred. Tess crossing the line, and then it will be Lemony Squeeze, who is on cruise mode, now flashing away. Another great result for Lemony, the one-man show team. So he will increase his lead in the pro standings, the pro driver standings. Pole position, fastest lap, and the victory, and a nice little donuts before the finish line. And now you just have to drive in reverse gear across the line. No. Such a disappointment. But yeah, well done. Tricky race for sure. Save that replay, and then we'll bring up results graphics. So Lemony Squeeze with the victory in the pros, fastest lap of the race as well. Furious P2, Richie P3, overall P1 in the AMs. Let's have a look at the fastest lap. Probably could go to Oscar in the AMs. 20.7 for Richie. I think Oscar was a bit faster. See the rest. Richie P6, that's second in class. The rest have the pro drivers. And yeah, as expected, Oscar with the fastest lap for the AMs at 20.2. And Dashi with a 20.4. It's close. Dashi, best result of the season in AM class. Righty. Say, let's have a look at the schedule. So round 8 next Monday we go to France. Go to Saint Arden Blue's favorite track, St. Croix. Layout B it is. And it will be a fairly straightforward race this time. No rain on the track. So it should come down to strategy. Again with the mandatory soft tire compound then for round number 8. 60 minutes on a track. It's a wide track. Also many straights, so we should see a couple of overtakes, definitely, on that one. Also, of course, there's a chance to grab many track limit penalties as well at this one. But yeah, we'll find out next Monday, of course, and then as always on Thursday we'll have the random mayhem round number 5 out of 6. So Wheel of Doom spins for track, car, race length, damage, multipliers for tire wear and fuel consumption. You get it. So crazy competition we will have on Thursday. Yeah, tune in. You don't want to miss. So if you're free and want to join, always have a couple of spots available for you. So that's it from my side. Thank you all for watching. Have a good time. Take care. See you soon. Love you all. Yippee-ki-yay. Bye bye.